When life applies pressure, it is not meant to destroy you, but to reveal what is already inside of you. Just like diamonds are formed under intense pressure, your strength, resilience, and hidden potential are often discovered in the hardest moments. The very situations you think will break you are usually the ones that awaken a power within you that you didn't even know you had, showing that pressure is not your enemy, but the force that proves your true strength. Every difficulty you face carries a purpose, even when it feels meaningless in the moment. Just like the seasons shift, challenges eventually give way to change and growth. Winter may seem long and cold, but it always prepares the way for spring. In the same way, your struggles are shaping you, stretching you, and positioning you for something greater. They are not a signal that you have failed, but a sign that transformation is happening beneath the surface. What you're facing right now may feel heavy, but it is not the end of your story. Hardships are not permanent. They are temporary seasons that teach you lessons and strengthen your character. When you understand that every season has a purpose, you stop seeing obstacles as punishments and start seeing them as preparation. What looks like a delay is actually developing you, and what feels like a setback is often the foundation for your next breakthrough. Sometimes your feelings will convince you that you are not strong enough to make it through what you are facing. They whisper that you are too tired, too overwhelmed, too broken to keep standing. But feelings are not always the truth, and they often exaggerate the weight of the struggle, making it seem heavier than it really is. What you feel in a moment of weakness does not define the true measure of your strength. The reality is that you have already endured more than you thought possible. You have faced days you believed would break you, yet here you are still standing. Every battle you have survived has proven that your capacity to endure is far greater than what your feelings try to convince you of. Each step forward, even when taken with trembling legs, is proof that you carry strength deeper than you realize. That same inner strength will carry you through what lies ahead, even when the road feels impossible and the burden feels overwhelming. There is a resilience within you that refuses to let go. Strength is not about never feeling weak. It is about continuing to rise despite the weakness. You may not always feel powerful, but your survival and persistence are living proof that you are stronger than you think. There are times when life feels like it is breaking you apart, stripping away the things you once depended on, and leaving you standing in the middle of uncertainty. In those moments, it is easy to believe that the weight is too much to carry, or that the struggle is proof of failure. Yet what feels like breaking is often the beginning of something new, a process that clears away what no longer serves you so you can step into a stronger version of yourself. Many times, what you think is the end of the road is really just the closing of one chapter. Life has a way of using endings to open the door to beginnings that you could not have imagined before. The job you lost, the relationship that ended, the plan that fell apart. These things may feel like they shattered your path, but in reality, they are creating space for something greater to take root. When you are in the middle of a breakdown, it can be difficult to see beyond the pain. But breakdowns are not the final word. They are often the setup for breakthroughs. They strip away distractions, teach you resilience, and prepare you for the strength you will need in the next season. Without those moments of breaking, you might never discover the depth of courage that has been inside you all along. So instead of viewing your breaking point as your ending, choose to see it as the soil where your breakthrough is planted. The very place where you feel the weakest can become the place where you rise the strongest. What looks like destruction can actually be reconstruction, and what feels like falling apart may be the beginning of being built back up in a way that is more powerful and purposeful than before. Pain has a way of making itself feel like a prison, locking you inside its walls and convincing you that there is no way out. It can overwhelm your thoughts, cloud your vision, and make tomorrow seem like a distant place you will never reach. But pain is not meant to hold you captive forever. It is not a chain around your life, but an experience that can shape you if you choose to see it differently. Every difficult season, every loss, every disappointment carries a lesson within it. Pain forces you to slow down, to look deeper, and to uncover truths that comfort never could have taught you. It teaches resilience by showing you that even when you are knocked down, you can rise again. It teaches empathy by allowing you to understand what others are going through. And it teaches wisdom by reminding you of what truly matters in life. When you shift your perspective from asking, why is this happening to me? To, what can I learn from this? The power of pain changes. Instead of controlling your days and defining your future, it becomes a teacher guiding you toward growth. The same pain that once threatened to break you begins to reveal strength you did not know you had, shaping you into someone more grounded and unshakable. The lessons pain teaches often stay with you long after the season of struggle has passed. They give you the ability to endure future storms with more courage and calm. They remind you that you have survived before and you can survive again. What once hurt you deeply becomes the very foundation of your resilience, proof that even painful experiences can create something meaningful. So do not run from pain or despise it as if it has no value. Acknowledge its reality, but refuse to let it imprison you. Let it refine your character, deepen your compassion, and strengthen your spirit. Pain is not the end of your story. It is a part of the process that equips you for the road ahead. And when you learn to see pain as a teacher, you discover that it can no longer control you. It can only prepare you. Even in the moments when you feel like you are standing alone, you are not truly without support. Loneliness has a way of convincing you that no one sees your struggle or understands your pain. But the truth is there are always sources of strength holding you up in ways you may not recognize. Life has a way of surrounding you with people, experiences, and inner resources that come to your aid when you need them most. Sometimes that support comes from people closest to you, those who believe in you even when you doubt yourself. They may not always have the right words to say, but their presence is a reminder that you are not forgotten. Even a simple gesture of kindness or encouragement can become the spark you need to keep going when the weight of life feels too heavy. Other times, the support you need comes from unexpected places. A stranger's smile, a word you hear at the right moment, or an opportunity that opens just when you thought doors were closing can be the very reminders that you are not alone. Life has a way of sending subtle signs of hope to remind you that you are still being carried forward, even when you cannot see the full picture. Beyond the external support, there is also a deep well of strength within you that rises in times of need. You may not always feel it in advance, but when the pressure comes, something inside of you awakens and carries you through. This resilience is not accidental. It is part of who you are, proof that you were never meant to collapse under the weight of struggle. Even in the silence, when no one seems to notice your tears or hear your prayers for relief, there are unseen forces working on your behalf. You may feel stretched thin, but there is always a greater strength surrounding you, protecting you, and holding you together when you think you are falling apart. These invisible hands keep you from breaking when the storm rages the hardest. So the next time loneliness whispers that you are abandoned, remember that it is only an illusion. You are supported more than you realize, carried by both visible and invisible strength. Though the battle may be yours to fight, you are never fighting it without help. There is always a presence of hope, always a network of support, and always a source of strength, ensuring that you will not break. Setbacks can feel like the end of the road, leaving you questioning your path and wondering if you will ever rise again. They come suddenly, disrupting your plans and shaking your confidence. But what feels like a devastating loss is often a hidden opportunity. Life has a way of turning what looks like a detour into a path that leads you somewhere even greater. A setback does not mean you are finished. It means you are being prepared. When you stumble, it can be easy to see failure as proof that you are not capable. Yet every failure carries within it a lesson, a reminder that progress is rarely a straight line. The moments when you fall short are the very moments that sharpen your character, strengthen your determination, and prepare you for future success. What seems like defeat is actually building resilience in you, training you to rise with greater clarity and wisdom. Think about how an arrow works. In order for it to move forward with force, it first has to be pulled backward. That tension, that resistance is what gives it the power to launch. In the same way, setbacks may feel like you are being pulled back, but that pull is not punishment. It is preparation for the momentum that will carry you further than before. Setbacks also strip away what is unnecessary. They force you to evaluate what truly matters and let go of the things that are holding you back. Sometimes the only way to see clearly is to have your plans interrupted. In that disruption, you often discover a stronger focus, a clearer vision, and a renewed drive that you would not have found without the setback. It is also important to remember that setbacks are temporary. They may delay your progress, but they cannot deny your purpose. What you are facing now is not the end of your story. It is simply a pause, a moment in time that will pass. If you keep moving forward, even with small steps, the setback will eventually transform into the foundation of your comeback. History is full of people who faced crushing failures only to rise higher than anyone expected. Their greatness was not defined by avoiding setbacks, but by how they responded to them. The same is true for you. Your ability to stand back up after being knocked down speaks louder than any defeat you have faced. The comeback that follows will be stronger because of the struggle. So when you find yourself in a season of setbacks, don't let discouragement convince you it's over. Instead, choose to see it as the setup for something greater. You are being positioned for growth, prepared for strength, and readied for opportunities that may not yet be visible. Every step back is building the momentum for a stronger leap forward, and the challenges you face today are shaping the victories that are coming tomorrow. You are unbreakable by design. At the core of who you are is resilience. Life may bend you, stretch you, and test you, but it cannot break you. You are designed to withstand storms, rise from ashes, and keep moving forward no matter what. So remember this: you may bend, but you won't break. You may stumble, but you won't fall apart. The challenges you face today are proof that you are being prepared for something far greater tomorrow. Deep within you is a strength that was woven into your very being, a resilience that cannot be erased by the storms of life. You may not always see it clearly, but it is there, a foundation that keeps you standing when everything around you feels unstable. Life may throw challenges that bend you, stretch you, and test you in ways you never imagined, but at the core of who you are, there is something unshakable. When the winds of adversity rise, you might feel like you are swaying back and forth, close to collapsing. Yet, just like a tree that bends in the storm without snapping, you too are built to withstand the pressure. The bending is not a sign of weakness, but a flexibility, proof that you can adapt, adjust, and survive even when the conditions are harsh. Rising from the ashes is part of your design. Every time you have been knocked down, you have discovered that there is more strength inside you than you once believed. It is not about avoiding the fire or pretending it does not hurt. It is about knowing that even after the flames, you can rebuild, you can rise, and you can carry on with even greater determination. Moving forward, even in the smallest steps, is evidence that you are unbreakable. Life may delay you, frustrate you, or burden you, but it cannot completely stop you. As long as you keep putting one foot in front of the other, you are proving that setbacks cannot define your destiny. The fact that you are still here is proof of your endurance. There will always be moments when you feel like you are on the edge, moments when fear, doubt, or exhaustion whisper that you cannot go any further. But those moments do not define you. What defines you is your decision to stand back up, to keep moving, to refuse to let the weight of the world break what was built to last. Your strength is not measured by the absence of struggle, but by your ability to keep going in spite of it. Every scar, every wound, every painful chapter in your story is evidence of survival, evidence that you are far stronger than you ever realized. Each mark tells the story of someone who refused to break, even when breaking seemed easier. And though you may stumble, though you may feel like you are falling apart, the truth is you will not collapse completely. There is something holding you together, something that cannot be touched by fear, loss, or failure. You are unbreakable not because you never face battles, but because you continue to rise no matter how fierce the battle becomes. So when you look at the challenges in front of you, remind yourself that they are not the end of your story, but the preparation for what comes next. You are designed to endure, to rise, and to thrive. You may bend, but you will not break. You may stumble, but you will not fall apart. The weight you carry today is shaping the strength you will walk in tomorrow. And the very struggles that tried to break you are the proof that you are unbreakable by design.